This is a test of the timing accuracy of the system. So what we're doing here is we have the microsecond calibrated time interval meter that we use to measure the wired accuracy. And then we have the hub up here and then the gate over here. And so what we're doing is we're essentially putting a wired sensor system on top of our wireless system and comparing the two. So the way the wired system works is the gate, let's go start with the hub. So with the hub, we've got the data interface, IO interface is coming out and going to the connections for the clock. So when the hub clock starts, it sends a signal that can be picked up by any external timing system that works. If you want to connect it to SplitFast, you can do that. So we're just picking up off of the contact closure when the hub clock starts, and the time interval meter is going to start when the hub clock contact starts. So basically the hub starts the trial, closes the contacts, that signals the time interval meter to start timing. And the stop time is essentially a wired infrared motion sensor that we're just sitting on top of the gate, and essentially as close as we can get it to the aperture of our LiDAR sensor. And it is connected to the time interval meter as well. So basically all that's happening here is that the wired infrared motion sensor is going to send a pulse signal when it detects motion, and the time interval meter is going to stop when it detects that. But for our timing, we're essentially doing it all wirelessly. So the hub and the gate are communicating wirelessly, and the app is going to measure what the SplitFast system is going to, the wireless SplitFast system measures, and we can compare the two. So essentially wireless timing with SplitFast compared to a full wired, independent wired system on top of it, just to check the accuracy. So I'll reset the time interval meter and then we will start a new trial.
On your mark, set.
Okay, so the time interval meter is running, SplitFast is running. It's a 70-meter trial, so we'll let it run for about 10 seconds or so. And then we will break the beam as fast as we can. Okay, and we can compare the results. So the time interval meter is telling us 13 seconds, 0.566, and SplitFast is saying 13.565, so 1 millisecond difference, which is well within our accuracy of plus or minus 1/100th, so that's 10 milliseconds. So we've got 1 millisecond of difference in the time. So it's very, very, very close to being spot on. So that just shows how we measure and check the system to make sure it's working. The other area that we also test is the start speaker. So there's a calibration process, and I'll put that in a separate video of how we test the actual starting tone synchronized with the clock to make sure that we're starting the instant the athlete hears the sound. So that's in a second test, but this shows the accuracy of the wireless timing between the hub and the gate.